What's going on, guys? This is just going to be a quick run through of where I'm at with the SPY key levels I'm watching tomorrow into the CPI data, some market outlook from me, additional commentary, and what I want to trade into the end of this week. So we'll let people file in. Not sure how many viewers we'll get tonight. If anybody's in the YouTube stream, if you have YouTube comments on, if you could just give me a mic check. Just want to make sure it's working after I did one without audio a little bit ago. So just letting everyone file in here, and then I'll get rolling. Won't be too long tonight since there's so much uncertainty with the CPI data in the morning. Just wanted to brush over a few things, give some thoughts, and we'll go from there. So okay, it's working good. Perfect. I usually just give about 30 seconds more here for people to stroll in, and then I'll run through kind of my thoughts on the broader market and what we're going to see tomorrow. So all right, I'm not sure how many live viewers we've got, but this will be recorded. If anybody's interested, if you just skip forward to about 3 minutes, you'll find me here. But I've got the SPY daily chart up on my screen for you guys, and I'm using the volume profile, which I know a lot of people in the Discord chat and in the, just several Discord channels have been asking me to do some more thorough explanation on this volume profile and kind of how I'm using it. So I'll touch on that with a direct example, I guess, of the SPY daily chart with tomorrow's action, and go from there. But basically, we've got a very tough candle today on SPY. I think the one silver lining on today's candle is it's not on huge volume. But I think really the more important part here is that the action we've had thus far isn't going to be the most important. I think knowing these zones on the SPY chart and on really whatever chart you're trading is going to serve you best, because we're probably going to see, a large pre-market move off of this CPI data in the morning. And so, I don't think that the price action over the past, couple days to weeks is super indicative, because we do have super important data in the morning that could swing either way. And so I think just knowing the zones that you're going to want to trade off of that gap up or gap down is what's going to serve you best from a day trading perspective heading into tomorrow. So obviously you see this little profile gap we've got here on SPY. And basically what this is showing us is that the 375 level, which is this blue line right here, we closed right under it at 374.13. But I've been mentioning this 375 level, and to me, it's been the most important pivot on this chart with where we're trading right now. And I say that because if you look at the volume profile right here, you see this node, and this 375 spot lines up perfectly with this node. And you also see additional confluence, I think, in many spots right here, right here, right here. And I just think 375 is going to be the most important area, spot on the chart in this area we're trading in right now. And interestingly enough, we closed at 374.13, so right under this spot, which leaves this volume profile gap below us. And I think, really down to 368, I've got 367.12 marked here, but I think really down to probably 368 is the next volume node. And so I think that, if CPI data does come in hot tomorrow, not cold, which meaning above expectation, which I believe is 7.9. If it comes in, anywhere, 7.9, 8.0, 8.1, we're definitely going to probably gap through this zone, which is probably going to leave us around 368. Just being, the next real volume node on this profile. And so I think that you will see a very clean volume profile example in the morning if we are to gap down, because this is probably going to get cut. And it might be a little bit of a dramatic looking gap down that's going to shock some people, But if you look at the volume profile, you'll see, once we lose 373, 50-ish, 30-ish, really probably today's low, which was 373.60. There's just not much to catch it here, and we're going to see this move down to 368 somewhat swiftly, and then we'll see how it trades from there. But I really think 375 is going to act as the pivot, and if we do see a positive reaction, which I think is a possibility, that not a lot of people are exploring, and I just think that, yeah, we're going to see not a good number, 7.9, 8.0, 8.1. It's not going to probably be a good number, and I think everyone knows this, and this is why I think that, there's always the potential for the algos to react in pre-market with a buy, and for us, rip a percent, a few bucks on SPY, and have a gap up, even if the data is not bullish per se. And so I think it's just like so expected at this point that the number is going to be high. I'm not sure it was last time. I feel like that was the one where people were expecting it to not look as sticky, the inflation situation. But I think tomorrow everyone is like, okay, it's definitely a persisting problem, and it's probably not coming in low at all. And so I think that there's always that potential for a snap up. And so if we do see that, I'll definitely be taking the profits right away on the calls that I took in the 2K challenge account. And I say plural, but it was singular, one call contract. I'll be taking profit on that right away. And then I'd probably look to fade the move if we gap up on not, a cold low CPI number. And I just think, to echo Mans's sentiment heading into tomorrow, psychologically, I think that a lot of people put a lot of pressure on themselves heading into big catalyst days such as Fed Day, whether it's CPI Day, or a day where a company reports, a bunch of important companies report earnings. Any of those days where something big is going to happen in the market, I think that traders put a lot of pressure on themselves to perform. And if it doesn't work out, they've failed miserably, and it's a massive L. And I think just taking the trades as they come to you and not feeling like it's the Super Bowl is probably going to serve you well. I don't think, as much as you want to hype yourself up in pre-market for the CPI number and get all, excited and crazy, whichever way it goes, I think that, trying to manage your emotions, staying even keeled, and not acting like tomorrow is a Super Bowl or a Fed day is a Super Bowl and it's going to be a crazy day, which it, definitely has all the makings to be. I think that not, hyping it up to be that in your own head is probably going to serve you well from just a day trading perspective, of course. But not, a ton of thoughts tonight, guys. I'm definitely kind of in an interesting spot mentally with how I feel about the market. There's still some setups out there. I think I wanted to touch on NEE, which is a energy name, and this is a bull flagging pattern that I really think is attractive on the daily, and it's really the one spot I'll be looking across the market to the upside to maybe add for a swing trade post CPI. I don't feel great about many things right now, but I do think that this chart is attractive and could provide a swing opportunity just because of the just because of the bull flagging type of pattern we see here. You said massive volume here on this candle, big volume here to move this pattern up. I'll just zoom in on it. Considerable buying volume here to move this pattern up, and then two of these candles right here on lower volume consolidation, they report earnings, high volume move up on their earnings day on a nice earnings report. And then pretty much since this earnings report day, we've seen pretty choppy low volume consolidation. And this is, definitely declining volume is what it's turning into here. You see today's candle was an inside bar on lower volume, the lowest volume that this chart has seen in quite a while. Literally, you got to look all the way back to the far left side of this screen right now, over to August. And so today's candle was the lowest volume candle for NEE since August. It was an inside bar candle, and it's in a formation that appears to be a bull flag. And so this to me looks like one that might be getting ready to make a move to the upside. You see this zone overhead, and you see a very clear trigger too created by these 4 daily candles in a row, literally 4 daily candles in a row, having an upper wick that is very similar in price. So these basically all topped out at the exact same spot, these 4 daily candles. And so there's a very, almost too perfect trigger for this this daily setup to rip here. And so NEE is going to be one I'm watching in the 2K challenge account for an upside trade. Depending on how tomorrow morning goes, we have no idea. Again, completely binary catalyst. And so definitely want to be prepared for either situation. I'm very high cash. I have just a few calls contracts just because of what I explained with how I'm kind of thinking the CPI number is very expected, and we might see an algorithm reaction to the upside. But NEE is one I'm watching in the challenge account, and we'll see how SPY wants to behave off the data release, because like I mentioned, there is a very clear window for it to gap down through right here. You've got clear room down to 368, at least 370, the 370 psych. Very clear room down to this 370 psych. So we'll see if it wants to gap through that in pre. If not, I'll probably be happy because I do have a few calls contracts. But I would just say be nimble, guys. And I don't think that when the market is in such turmoil like this, it's maybe the time to press your foot on the gas pedal and make a lot of money. I would say it's more of a play defense, use smaller size, and if you do find yourself in the right spot, maybe try to let that position ride a little bit, because we're seeing some outsized moves in this market. And so maybe just using a little bit smaller size and trying to let that ride maybe 100% to a double up or something like that might probably serve you better than using very, full size or larger positions in this volatility. So hopefully we get some trend clarity Friday, hopefully tomorrow, definitely Friday, and then the next week we can kind of trade a little of a bit, less catalyst heavy market. We've had a lot going on, and so I'm excited to see how tomorrow shakes out, and hopefully we can get some direction. I'll be trading SPY tomorrow. So guys, if you're interested to know kind of where I'm at with SPY or what I'm thinking on SPY, I'll probably be trading it tomorrow. So always be watching out for those entries that I'll be sharing, and we'll see you in pre-market.